Hi everyone, Angel Arts is here and welcome. Welcome back to Dragon Age Inquisition. This is Let's Replay Dragon Age Inquisition. If you are specifically looking for a blind playthrough of this game, I'll put a link of my actual first time. I did play through this game for the very first time, fairly thoroughly actually, and I'll just be putting up a link somewhere so that you can go to that if you're looking for something that's blind. This actually is my second replay of the game, so this is my third playthrough through this game, because in my first playthrough I played a gay Inquisitor that romanced Dorian. My second playthrough, which is my gay replay Dragon Age Inquisition, I played another gay Inquisitor who romanced Iron Bull, and at long last, the romance that I have actually been waiting for the most since Dragon Age Origins. I am going to be playing an Inquisitor specifically to romance Cullen. If this is your first time checking my video out, or you know, just in general, if this is your first time on my channel, if you haven't already, I do highly recommend that you take a look at the introduction to my channel, because that pretty much will help you educate yourself and find out if I'm a good Let's Player fit for you. Because I know that my style is a style that isn't for everyone, and the last thing I want to do is to waste your time. So I want to make sure that you are given the tools right from the beginning so that you can figure out if this is a series that you're interested in actually following and watching. And after you see the intro to my channel video, if everything looks like it's something that you would be willing to hang out with me for, then by all means, welcome. If you are interested in seeing the Thetis world state, make sure that you check out this episode 0. Hi everybody, this is actually Angel Arts from the future. I'm filming this a few weeks after I recorded the first episode of my Let's Play. I just wanted to explain to you why there isn't an episode 0 or part 0 of this series. It's because I'm only now just discovering, after getting way past into the game, I'm only just now discovering that unfortunately the world state that I thought I loaded into this playthrough ended up not being the same world state. I believe it's actually the same world state as Andy's. So if you really want to see, you know, if you want to see what the world state is for this Inquisitor, just look at the part 0 of the gay replay Dragon Age Inquisition. And I'm really bummed about it because I specifically made a whole slew of different decisions in the third world state that I was trying to load. Things like keeping Loghain alive, things like stabbing Morrigan, things like not going through the ritual. There was a whole bunch of stuff that I did that I wanted to actually experience through this playthrough, but I'm already about 20-some hours into the game, I think. And as much as I would love to just go back and do everything from the beginning, it just doesn't seem like it would really make that much sense for me to do that. So I apologize profusely for you guys, because I was trying so hard to add as many differences to this playthrough as much as possible, make it as different as possible with my other 2 playthroughs, because I did want to see what those differences are. But unfortunately, due to something just not loading right, it most likely was something that I just made a mistake with. I didn't do it correctly, loading the world state. You're not going to be able to see those differences necessarily for this playthrough, but hopefully that pales in comparison to what many of you guys probably are trying to see, which is my blind reaction to the Cullen romance. And I mean, that is the main emphasis of this playthrough. So I apologize, guys, again. Especially since many of you actually were hoping that I did a playthrough where Loghain is still alive, but that just didn't work out. So Sorry, guys. So I am very ready for this. Like I said, you don't understand. Ever since my first playthrough of Dragon Age Origins, I played a female mage, actually. And she was pretty smitten by Cullen, at least during her origin stories. And I've got my Cullen, I don't know if you can see very well, but I've got my Cullen t-shirt that my friend Kathleenums, another YouTuber friend Kathleenums sent me, ready to go to play this replay. So let's go ahead and get right to it. I'm so excited. A lot of you have been asking me when I was going to go and play this. I had to finish up Fallout 4 before I started. I'm gonna play a new game. One thing I'm going to try to do with this playthrough, this is my third time playing through the game, I'm going to try my hardest to make even more different decisions as possible from both my first and second Inquisitor, as long as it's within character. I feel like it's within character of the person that I am about to make. So it's always exciting for me to create a whole brand new Inquisitor that we're going to be following the story of, and I'm really curious to find out, especially with not only the different decisions that she is going to make, but also how some of the world state decisions, or how the world state differences between the world state she's in and my other two Inquisitors, how that's going to affect the story, if at all. Probably in subtle ways, but we'll see. So, the first thing I'm going to have to do is I have to pick a race. Now, as I've said before, humans, I have nothing wrong with humans. I mean, believe me, I'm a human myself. But because I am a human in real life, I tend to shy away from them in these kinds of games, just because I would prefer, it's more fun for me to try to play someone who is not completely like me as much as possible. So I shy away from the humans and try to pick a different race. I've already done Kunari, I've already done Dwarf, so I'm going to go with an elf. And this actually works out pretty poetically because my first character, like I said, from Origins, was a female elf, and the warden in this world state was also a female elf who, in my head at least, was trying to pursue something with Cullen while she was still in the circle. So I kind of I thought it would be very poetic for Cullen to meet another mage elf. That's the second part. I wanted him to meet another mage elf to ultimately be with, and so that's why I'm going to be picking an elf. Elves are historically oppressed people, distinguishable by their lithe frames and pointed ears. Though most survive in the poorest fringes of human cities, others live as nomads known as the Dalish. Elves receive a bonus of 25% to range defense, which as a mage is probably very good. Did I pick? I just want to make sure that I'm female. Yes, I'm female. There were mods, some of you who are asking. I am aware of the gay Cullen mods. Yes, the gay Cullen mods. And I could have gone with another gay Inquisitor to romance Cullen, but I kind of want to be able to give the opportunity for me to actually play a female character for once, because I feel like I almost always play a male character when the choice is given. And I kind of want to get, onto my feminine side and try to roleplay my way through the character, through the story as a female. I think that a lot of people would really appreciate that, and it's something that people have been asking for, and I think it's something that will be good for me to do. The second reason is because, part of me kind of wants to keep Cullen the way he is. I want to be able to accept Cullen the way he is, at least for this playthrough. He's straight. I understand he's straight. I'm going to keep him straight and, give him a female that I think would be able to complete him. So, my first Inquisitor was a mage, my second Inquisitor was a rogue. It makes a lot of sense for diversity's sake. It makes a lot of sense for me to pick warrior, and I definitely have been very tempted to pick warrior because even though warrior tends to be my least favorite class in the Dragon Age series, I actually really enjoy playing as a warrior in Inquisition. And by that I mean I have really enjoyed playing warrior whenever I control Cassandra or the Iron Bull. Blackwall. I think of all three of the games, the warrior has been the most appealing version of warrior in Inquisition than it ever has been in the other games. But story-wise, I really feel like it's so super poetic for Cullen, who is a Templar, to fall in love with a mage. There's just something about that just so appealing. I fully understand that there is unique dialogue that you get with Cullen as a warrior. I know I've been told that, and I would definitely love to see that. And it's definitely something that I would like to experience too, and I think you get extra dialogue with Cullen when you're a Templar. So what's probably going to happen is after this playthrough, my fourth playthrough will probably be either a female warrior that will romance. My fourth playthrough will probably be a female that will romance Solas, because I definitely want to see the Solas romance, and that'll be a way for me to get my warrior fix. Plus, with mages, I just feel like depending on how you build your mages, they can be completely different from another mage that you would have played. So I'm going to focus on selecting powers for this character that is, I guess, as much of the opposite as Art's, my original Inquisitor. Art was more of a defensive caster, and I am going to be very offensive. My character is going to be very picking spells that are more in the offensive realm, which I think is going to be super fun. So we're going to be mage. Difficulty normal. I think I can bump it up to hard. I think after playing through this game twice, I should be able to handle hard decently well. I don't think I want to go to nightmare just yet. I don't want to get too crazy now. But let's take a look at our character's background. The Dalish apprentice, enslaved long ago by humans. Most elves still live as second-class citizens within human cities. Elves who reject this life are known as the Dalish, nomadic wanderers who strive to keep the ancient elven religion and traditions alive. You grew up in the wilderness, a member of the Lavellan Dalish clan, and apprenticed to its leader and guide, the Keeper. The clan wandered the northern free marches, and you had little need to interact with humans until the Keeper sent you to the Chantry's conclave as a spy. What happened there, she said, would impact not only the Dalish, but indeed all elves. She could not have known how right she was. So, bear with me, because there's something here about the background that I want to discuss with you guys. And again, my apologies that I tend to talk a lot, but again, if you've seen my intro video, you would have been warned of this from the get-go. I feel this is very important for me to discuss because it will help you understand my character more, and that's a big part of my Let's Plays. So, and again, I want to try to give this character a completely different personality, separate from Art, my first Inquisitor, and Andy, my second Inquisitor. And one of the things that was characteristic of those other two is their religious beliefs, or lack thereof. So Art was agnostic, if anything. Andy was atheist. And I wanted my third Inquisitor to be the other extreme, the opposite extreme, which is very gung-ho religious. In particularly, she is going to be, you know, waving those maker pom-poms. Now I know some of you are wondering, wait a minute, how does that work? Because the elven mage is supposed to be Dalish. So how can a Dalish character be, you know, so how can she be waving her the maker pom-poms. Why couldn't she? I think that would make things super interesting. Hear me out. So whenever I build characters, especially in tabletop campaigns, I don't like making cookie-cutter type characters. You know, I like playing characters that break the mold a bit, that are not what you would normally expect right off the bat, because I feel that is what makes the character special. That is what makes the character more interesting. So in D&D, for example, I would love to play like an orc bard. Or if I was in Mass Effect, I would love to play a Quarian that wasn't techie at all. In my Mass Effect campaign, tabletop campaign, Elias is a character made by a player who was more artsy. He's a singer. He's not a scientist. He's not a tech person. I mean, he does tech, but first and foremost, he's an artist. He's a singer. So it might not seem like those characters are the most optimal, like stat-wise on paper. If you're looking at an orc bard, for example. But to me, it's more important for me to have an interesting character to roleplay as opposed to a character that's optimal. I feel like you can tell a very good story for these characters that are different from other characters of that same category. Yes, it might be that there are extremely, you know, having an orc bard would be super rare, but that's the point of your PC, is that your PC is supposed to be special. There's supposed to be something about your PC that is out of the ordinary, something that separates you from the other characters, that makes it interesting for a story to be told about you. So to explain my Dalish's religious beliefs, she just loves religion in general. She's a very spiritual character. She loves learning about all types of religion, not just the Dalish religion. Of course, the Dalish religion is what she was raised as. But, you know, even in real life, just because you're raised in one religion doesn't mean that you necessarily will stay that religion when you get older. Or if you were raised without religion, that doesn't mean that you remain, you know, not having religious beliefs later on in life. It happens. Me as a Christian, I love learning about religion, like even outside of Christianity. I love learning about Judaism. I love learning about Buddhism, and anything and everything between. I mean, even other religions like, you know, like Scientology or you know, Mormonism. I just love to learn about them. They may not necessarily be for me, and I may not necessarily share exact same beliefs as them, but that doesn't mean that I can't learn about them. And I feel like people would benefit from taking the time to learn about religion, whether you're religious a person or not, whether you would actually believe in those kinds of things or not, because it helps you to understand other people, especially if you come into conflict with them. And I think that, I don't know, I think the world would be a much better place if people just took the time to really understand how other people believe or practice their faith or don't practice their faith, because I think that knowledge only helps you and benefits you in the long run, and helps you to just understand people in general, understand where they're coming from, why they do the things they do, why they believe some of the things they do, why they're code or not code, or you know, things of that nature. So that's the kind of person that my character is that she loves learning about different cultures, different religion. She likes to educate about those kind of things because she finds it fascinating. And I think that even though she was raised Dalish, I think her favorite religion happens to be the religion of the Chantry and Andraste and the Maker. She's very much pro Andraste. There are some theories, some people actually theorize that Andraste was actually Elven. It's not necessarily a popular theory or a popular belief, but there are people who interpret or hint at the text implying that Andraste was Elven. And I think that my character believes that, and I think that my character is, you know, that's one of the reasons why my character, I think, has really opened up towards the Maker, the belief of the Maker. And in addition to that, that might be the reason why she was sent as a spy, quote-unquote spy, to the Conclave, because maybe her clan was kind of saw that she was being a little too overzealous about her religious beliefs, and maybe they, you know, kind of wanted to get rid of her, but not get rid of her. So they kind of sent her away. They was like, yeah, can you go to this conclave over here and spy for us? Yeah, go ahead. I mean, because you like the Maker, you would love the opportunity, you know, wouldn't you love the opportunity to, you know, go to the Temple of Ashes, you know, Andraste's Temple of Ashes, and of course she would have jumped at that. She was like, heck yeah, I want to go there. And they're like, good, so go, and report back, take your time, take all the time that you need. I'd like to say in my head that's what happened, is that they were just kind of sort of trying to at least free themselves of her for the time being, so that she doesn't, you know, be too influential, too much of an unwanted influence on the other members of their clan who might, you know, be a little bit more impressionable as she is, because they don't want her to necessarily be spreading her beliefs around. I don't know. Those are just my thoughts. So, sorry that took a while, but I thought that was a very interesting thing to talk about for my character. Okay, everybody, so I wanted to show you guys my new Inquisitor. Yes, she has pink hair. I wanted to try to play around and give my Femquisitor a very unique look, and so I found a mod that allowed me to get some unique colors, add some unique colors to the hair palette, because I don't know, part of me just didn't really want to go normal colors with this character. I wanted her to be a little bit more ostentatious, and so I thought that this light pink was unique enough without it being like in your face hot pink, oh my gosh, like super anime kind of character. So I decided to go with a hairstyle that I think complements some of the rest of her features, and I thought the pink hair actually goes really well. I added, the other thing that I was really focused on is her eyes. I think that the cyanish, yellowish, it's basically a mixture. The outer iris is cyan and the inner one is yellow, and I think it gives this really unique, defining glow to her eyes that I think actually, in my opinion, goes decently well with her pink hair. And then of course the tattoo is the thing that I was trying to figure out what best to do with. I was playing around with the blue, I was playing around with the purple, and it matched really well with the rest of her, with the rest of the colors of her face, but I'm kind of liking the gold yellow tattoo for her. It's subtle enough so that it doesn't overly clash with the pink, but it's still a defining feature of her face. So, and then I kept the rest of her makeup very subtle. I didn't want to go overboard with her makeup. I didn't really give her any lip color, like any lipstick color at all, because I liked the natural shade of her lips. And the other thing, I don't know if you noticed, but I specifically wanted to make a character of color. It seems like a lot of the characters that I tend to make tend to be lily white, and there's nothing wrong with being lily white, but I wanted to diversify a little bit and give my Inquisitor a darker skin tone, just because I think that also adds to the uniqueness of her character in terms of other characters that I have made before. The big thing that I'm trying to decide, decision-wise, is her voice. I just hope I can help.
Everything you've heard? Completely true.
This voice, I think that between the two voices, this voice is more... I think she tends to be a little bit more expressive in her delivery. The only thing about it is that I can't not hear Samantha Trainor, because it's the same voice actress. She's a wonderful voice actress. She delivers her dialogues exceptionally well. But again, I just keep seeing in my head Samantha Trainor whenever I hear her voice. The other character,
you leave me no choice,
is a lot more unique, and
everything you've heard, completely true.
I kind of like the low voice.
You leave me no choice!
Many people, I think, save this low voice for a female dwarf or a female Qunari, and I kind of like mixing things up a bit, like give my Qunari and give my dwarves a higher voice, and give my elves and my human females a lower voice.
How much is this going to cost me exactly?
It gives her a little bit more of
How much is this going to cost me exactly?
A sultry... I guess the best way to put it is it gives her a very strong, sultry edge to her personality, in my opinion, when I use this voice. And I kind of want my character to be lighter. Slightly lighter.
I just hope I can help.
Personality. So I think I'm going to actually go with this one.
As long as the job gets done, I don't care about the rest.
Because I kind of want her to be a little bit of a girly girl, just a little bit of a girly girl, but still strong. Think Buffy. I kind of am sort of basing her, not necessarily her personality, but the air of who she is to be very Buffy-like, where there's a sense of vulnerability to her, but at the same time, she's confident and she's strong, and she can act like a pushover if she needs to, if it's to her advantage, but for the most part, like deep down inside, she can take charge if she needs to, and she can be that strong, confident, woman that I want her to be. So,
how much is this going to cost me exactly?
Let's go with that. I really love her eyes, especially. I think her eyes are my favorite feature for her. They're beautiful, beautiful eyes, and I don't know, I think the yellow in her eyes helps to complement the yellow in her scar, and then the pink hair, in my opinion, just frames her head just perfectly well, but that's just me. So I'm going to exercise these changes. Now, naming my character. So, Alana, it's interesting that they gave me Alana as the default name. One of my viewers, Alexandra is her name, you probably would recognize her from my Let's Talk of To the Moon, or from the Let's Talk Telltale Games' Walking Dead Season 2 podcast. She was the one who dressed up as Sarah in that podcast. Anyway, Alexandra made a special request to me, and I told her I would think about it in terms of what to name my character, and she really wanted me to consider naming my female Inquisitor Eluney, which, according to her, means gift from the sky, gift from the sky, which I think would suit my character very well. I'll probably call her L for short. Yeah, so Alexandra, if you're watching, you're welcome. I like Eluney as her name. So let's go see how Eluney does. The pink hair definitely makes her stand out quite a bit. It's gonna be interesting to try to find clothes that matches her hair, so we'll see. I think this works though.